Hello everyone and welcome back to another screencast. This one is on algebra. I know it's something that a lot of you have been looking forward to. When you think of maths, you think, I can't do algebra, I can't do fractions. But trust me, just go along and just open your mind up. Trust me on this one, it's not very difficult. I promise you that. The only thing that confuses people is that we think of maths with numbers, and then some smart mathematician back in whatever century thought that it'd be a good idea to put some letters in there as well. But they're just there because we don't know the numbers yet. All right. So we're going to use a thing called inverse operations. And what that basically means is that we're going to do the opposite that states to keep the equation balanced. So what is an equation? Well, you can read it there, but just to cut a very long story short, this is all taken from the BBC Bite-Size website, by the way. An equation is a statement with an equal sign. All right. Basically, you've got two expressions that are equal in value. So when we look at one, I'm going to give you an example. It's basically like a weighing scale. What we're saying is whatever we have on this side of the equation. So let's just give an equal sign here. Let's just say that these bananas over here are worth £10. So one banana is worth £10. That's basically what it's saying. All right. Okay. I've got an example for you here. Next up. Now on this one, we're saying, okay, so 2x's equals 10. And I'm going to help you to work out what 1x is today. So we're doing what we call one-step equations. It's like the first steps along the lines of working out equations. One thing to remember is that an equation is balanced. Whatever's on one side has the exact same value as the other side. And this will really help us when we think about it moving forward. So let's try some examples now. All right. So remember when I said we're going to use inverse operations. All right. So if we were thinking about algebraic notation, we would know that 2b actually means 2 times b. So we want to make b the subject. You'll hear a lot about me talking about making a letter the subject. We want to just have b equals. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the inverse operation. So what is the opposite of times? It's divide. So we're going to go divide both sides of the equation by 2. The reason why we divide both sides of the equation by 2 is because we must keep it balanced. Okay. Now if we divide 2b by 2, it'll give us b. And if we divide 20 by 2, it'll give us 10. So we've now worked out what b equals. B equals 10. Now let's just see if we're correct. So rather than writing b now, we're going to write 10. So we've got 2 timesing by 10, and that equals 20. 2 times by 10 equals 20, and obviously we've got 20 on this side. So we know we're correct. That's the best thing about algebra. We should know we're correct before we actually leave the question. So put your value back into the answer. Back into the question, sorry. Okay, so that's as simple as it is. So let's do the next one. I want you to give this one a go. I got 3b, I got 3 timesing by b equals 18. So do the inverse operation and see what answer you get. And then come back and see if you got it right. Okay, so I got 3 timesing by b. So what's the opposite? Divide by 3. And I must divide both sides by 3 because I want to keep that balanced. So what's 3 divided by b? 3b divided by 3 equals b. And I've got 18 divided by 3 gives me 6. And that is your answer. It is really as easy as that. There is nothing to worry about. Let's do some more this time. They'll look a little bit different, but remember you're using the inverse operation to see if you can do them. So I'd like you to give these a go before I go through and explain them any further. Okay, remember it's a one-step equation, so you can do one thing and then you have your answer. Okay, so on the first one, what's the opposite of plus? It's minus. So I'm going to minus 3 from this side and minus 3 from this side. And I'm going to end up with b equals 20. All right? Now minus it from both sides to keep it balanced. On this one, what's the opposite of minus? It would be plus. So I'm going to plus 2 to both sides. So I've got a equals 12. And we can put this back in. So what is 20 plus 3 equals 23? So we know we're correct. And what's 12 minus 2? And that equals 10. So we also know we're correct there. Okay, well, this is the last, amazing. This is going to be the last slide before we move into our quiz, which I know you all look forward to every single PowerPoint screencast that we do. Just remember that we're doing the inverse operations for both of these. So have a think about it. I'm not going to tell you any more. You have a think about it. This one might sort of test you a little bit, but stick with it and you'll be fine. Okay, so we've got a divided by 5. Just because it doesn't say divided, it's still the same thing. So what's the opposite? It's timesing by 5, both sides. Remember, we must times both sides because if we don't, it won't be balanced. So now I'm going to have a here. And what's 20 times 5 is 100. Okay, over here on the next one, we've got divided by 2. So I'm going to go times by 2, both sides. We're going to end up with b equals 24. And let's have a think about it. 100 divided by 5 equals 20, so we know we're correct. And 24 divided by 2 gives us 12, so we also know we're correct. So now we've done all the groundwork, we've done all the hard work. It's time for you now to go out there and do it all on your own. Remember inverse operations. Do the opposite. One step and you're done. Good luck. Come back and see if you've got the right answers in a second or two. All right, so here we go. Here is a time. Our answers are this. Hang on, it will come up. Our answers are here. So a equals 20, a equals 17, a equals 63, b equals 21, and b equals 36. And this is what I did to get those answers. So I divided the first one by 2, subtracted the second one by 3, times the third one by 3, added 3 to both sides on the fourth, and times to both sides by 2 on the last one. Hopefully got those right. I'm sure you did, actually. I'm positive. I know you did. If you didn't know, just in case you didn't, go back and watch the video again. Maybe I would send you to sleep this time. But anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure, as always, being here with you, hopefully making you better at maths.